Hello and welcome to Global Topics. I'm Dr. Mike Krasanik, the Executive Director of the Center for International Engagement here at Bridgewater State University, Massachusetts. We have a special guest today. We have with us Minister Patrick Faber, who is the Minister of Education and Youth in the country of Belize, and also a very strong partner with Bridgewater State University. We'll get to that in a second. Minister Faber, welcome to Global Topics.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's my pleasure being here.
I think one of the things that I found out when I was looking over some of your accomplishments and your work is that you're the youngest minister in Belize. So how does one become the youngest minister in the country of Belize? Tell us a little bit about how you got started in politics and national governmental life.
Well, it started very young. From the time I was in primary school, I believe, finishing up primary school, I always knew I wanted to be a part of the government and to be a politician. And so I started very young to try to meet that goal by getting involved in one of the two major political parties in Belize, which is the United Democratic Party. They embraced me, and I worked my way up the ranks of the party as the youth leader, a city councilor, a municipal level candidate, and then eventually at the general level, where I was first victorious to the House of Representatives in 2003 and was re-elected in 2008 and was named Minister of Education by our Prime Minister, the Honorable Dean Barrow, and later also added the portfolio of youth to the Ministry of Education to make me the Minister of Education and Youth.
Okay. And the difference between the two, Minister of Education obviously, but the youth would be, how does that work into your responsibilities?
Well, in terms of the Ministry of Education, it already encompasses many of the responsibilities or many of the areas of youth, but the Youth Ministry targets interventions especially for young people to make sure that they are being catered for in terms of the activities of the government. And so I tell people the two work well together. It's a good marriage for the Prime Minister to have brought them both together.
As you work in your position as Minister of Education Youth, what are the challenges that you face on a regular basis in Belize in these two very important and critical areas for the future of your country?
Critical indeed, given that the population in Belize is 75% people 35 years and under. So it goes to show you that it's not just a cliche when we say the young people are the future in Belize. In fact, I tell people they are, in addition, the present in our country. So it's a very important portfolio. And I think the Prime Minister and my colleagues in Cabinet put a good many of the resources available to them in these ministries because of the very, very big importance they hold to the formation of our future.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about some of the initiatives that you have been responsible for. What are you doing to reform education and to increase opportunities for the youth of Belize?
Well, we have a system that is patterned off the British. As you may know, we were a British colony. And it is a system that many believe is old and antiquated and needs to be revamped. And some of the reforms that we're putting in now are those reforms that politicians and those involved in the system have talked about for many, many years. And the political will and, of course, the resistance to change on the part of many stakeholders in education in particular have hindered us from getting this accomplished. But we are pushing forward, at least for the last 3 years, to make sure that these kinds of reforms that will see the kind of change needed in our system become a reality. I'm talking about things like removing corporal punishment from off the books of our country, also putting in place the kinds of mechanisms that will see greater access, greater number of our teachers being trained in pedagogy. These are just a few of the things we're working on and are making a serious mark as it relates to education. As it relates to youth, we keep on being challenged with coming up with innovative ways of keeping our young people occupied. As I mentioned, we have a significant portion of the population that is made up of young people. And so it's very, very, very important for us to keep abreast of the latest initiatives to engage our young people to make sure that they are moving in the forward direction and not engaging in negative behavior that could retard the growth of our country.
I know change always takes a long time, but are you generally pleased with the pace of change in the area of education
Not,
and youth? And
not pleased with the pace, but certainly pleased that we're moving in the forward direction. As I've indicated, there are some obstacles, some created by stakeholders themselves, to the pace that we'd want to move at. But and there's a lot to be desired in terms of the pace. But I'm certainly happy about the direction. We're not moving in the negative direction, nor are we at a standstill. We're moving forward in the right direction.
what might be one of the new initiatives that you're going to be pushing for once you return to Belize? Is there something on the horizon that you're especially interested in moving forward with?
Indeed, we continue to push teacher education, and that is why I am absolutely pleased to be here on the campus of Bridgewater State University. We have been working for some time on getting a larger percentage of our teacher population trained in pedagogy, and Bridgewater has been a tremendous partner in this regard. And we're here, Deputy Chief Carl Babb and I are here at Bridgewater State University in order to sit down to dialogue about how we can enhance the relationship that has existed thus far and go back all fired up and ready. As you know, we are taking back with us 3 brand new graduate students who will complete their graduate studies here and go back ready to work in the ministry, and of course train others and get them fired up about the kind of change that we are pushing in our country.
Tell us a little bit about this relationship between Belize and Bridgewater State University. These students that will come here, have come here, get an education, and then return and give back to their country. Is that
Right.
is that true by working in the schools and the ministry?
Right, indeed. Initially, we started off with people who we have identified to go back and work in the ministry. Some have already been working in the ministry, but others will join the ranks of the ministry once this training is completed. And it is our hope that they will will have a significant impact on what it is we're trying to do there. But of course, for us, it's important that there is a reciprocal relationship as well. And so when our students come here, they expose, of course, the Belizean culture, the Belizean way of life to the students who live here and who experience life here at Bridgewater State University. And from what I've gathered this morning, that has been a tremendous sharing. And of course, we are happy to do that. Of course, we look forward to the near future where student teachers from Bridgewater State University will come to Belize as well and teach in our schools and share in the experience of our schools, where we have no Office Depot or Office Max. You can't go and just pick up regular materials that, you know, sometimes the students here take for granted. They have to be innovative and creative working in Belizean schools and are challenged with the many different issues, the many different cultural issues, especially that exist in our schools.
I know we have a student group that comes during our winter break that goes down and works in some of the schools and helps to fix them up and rebuild them. So we're interacting with Belize in the education area in a number of areas. Is that correct?
Indeed, there are some spectacular people here at Bridgewater State who have made sure that the relationship, this relationship exists. And even before we we signed on to some formal agreement with the university here, they've been taking groups to Belize, like your Vice President Dave Ostrat and Lisa Batalino, and recently your other Vice President Ed Minock, who have really fostered that relationship, have taken groups down and supported groups going to Belize, working on infrastructural projects for our schools, and we are indeed grateful for that. And of course, they benefit tremendously from that partnership as well.
There's a two-way relationship and a
Indeed.
Transformative relationship in many respects for our students to
It's
work
a
in.
win-win situation, yes it is.
How do you foresee this relationship with Bridgewater State University evolving over the next 5 years, let's say, or into the future?
Well, one of the things I really need to point out is how quickly the relationship formed, and to the point where we had a formal agreement. And I must say thanks again to those who made sure that that happened. And so we do see Bridgewater State University as a very willing partner. There are people here who are willing to see things move quickly, and that's our agenda as well, to move things along quickly. It has taken us some time to make some of the changes that we are putting in place in Belize, and we need partners who are ready to go. And so my visit here on this occasion is to see how we could advance this, and there are many, many ways that are coming up, including taking student teachers to Belize to enhance their training, but also to have them, while in country in Belize, work alongside our teachers who may not have the pedagogical training, and they're able to pick up from your students. So that's one way, but there are other ways, and I want to make it clear that this relationship doesn't have to be limited to only students from the College of Education. It can be much more widespread. Belize being blessed with the wonderful flora and fauna, the marine resources and so on. It can be an area of for studies and exchanges in all of these other areas. The people, again, the Mayan people who are historical people, the Garifuna people. If you have sociology and anthropology studies, this is a prime area. So we are exploring all of these possibilities on this visit and look forward to further wonderful collaboration.
Minister Patrick Faber from Belize, the Minister of Education and Youth. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule here at Bridgewater. I know you'll be speaking at the graduate school commencement.
I look forward to that very much.
We won't give anybody
Yes.
a preview of what you're going to say, but we value our relationship with the country of Belize and your ministry, and we want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule here. This is Mike Krasanik from the Center for International Engagement saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.